And that is going to come off. It's how we exuberate ourselves that ultimately makes people see us that way as well. And that's a huge benefit, I think, when we can truly step into this kind of like egoical, aspect of ourselves, forcing ourselves rather to believe something that is not yet fully true, that we inadvertently make others believe the same. And it is potent.
Right. And it's not necessarily about what you are, it's what you believe you can be. And that is even on dates, on first dates. You talk about fake it till you make it. Well, you're not necessarily lying to somebody. You're not giving a false picture of who you are, and it's not imposter syndrome. When you're out on a date, you're each out with each other's publicists. You're not really even out with the other person. And you're always going to be out with the other person's publicist for the first 30 or 60 or 90 days, and they're going to be out with your publicist. And you're both trying to expound upon the best attributes of you and what you're good at and why they should be with you, and you're constantly pitching yourself. So if you want to think that that's faking it till you make it, great. I think that's a good thing. And I think that your confidence that you would be desirable to them, you're confident that you could be a good partner to them, you're confident that you're a fun person to date, and you don't really know the actual outcome of that, but you're confident that if given the opportunity, possibilities can flow from that. And I think that's a really good mindset, in all aspects of life, whether you're on a job interview or you're out on a second date.
Mm-hmm. And, I agree. And I think that two things and I know you talk about this too, Brian, like the simple things in dating. We say this with teenagers as well. Smiling and being respectful, treat people the way that you want to be treated. If you want, someone to love you and adore you, love and adore them. If you want someone to be kind to you, be kind to them. If you want to date someone who's respectful and kind to elders, then practice it in front of them, to other people. I think that, the more that we can just be authentic, smile, exuberate just this kind of free flowing, authentic version of ourselves, we're attracting that as well. And I tell a lot of teenagers too with dating that if you show up authentically, whatever that is for you, where you feel good and in ease and flow, and the other person, if that's off-putting to the other person, then they're not your person. It's much easier to tell that dissonance when you're showing up authentically than if you kind of put on this fake version of yourself that, you think is going to attract the right person. Now you're not sure if they're attracted to you, if they're attracted to the fake you, or they're attracted to the real you. And you have to now keep on playing both sides. And I think authenticity is going to be a really big decision making for a lot of people.
Yeah. And as we move back into an unmasked world, I think that is a huge part of it is we're going to see smiles again and we're going to see reactions again. And a lot of people love the masks because they felt less vulnerable showing the world that part of them. People don't want to know how they're reacting. They don't want to see smiles, and women don't want to be told to smile and all that. But if you go up to somebody wearing a mask and say, "Was that a smile?" they're going to be smiling behind the mask. And I think people do want to smile. People do want to feel good. I wear these glasses almost all the time. And I really only need them for reading, but I started to wear them about the time my nearsightedness, farsighted, whatever the reading one is, started to fail around the time I started to go to therapy. And wearing the glasses made me feel like I had an extra layer of protection because I felt too vulnerable now that I had this new exposed Brian Howie that my therapist was bringing out of me. So I get the advantage of having an extra barrier of protection behind you, but people do want to see your reactions and people do want to see how you feel about things. And people that are smiling not just seem more approachable, they seem more content in their lives, and that seems like somebody you would want to spend more time with. You may want to date the scowlers, and that is the problem with dating a model. They have a lot of high cheekbones that naturally translate to a resting bitch face. That is the problem of the model. They have very intimidating cheekbone structure. Give me the chubby Irish face. It's a lot easier to go after. But, understanding how, not just how you're feeling, but how you're expressing yourself to the world around you is going to open up a lot more opportunities to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I love, Brian, if these people have not seen you in person yet, man, you got to go see Brian, in live shows, because I love watching you say this to people. Like, you call people out. Like, you call out the girl with the resting bitch face in the crowd, and you're like, see?
Yeah. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to wake up to that. Yeah. You know? All right. I know you got to run because you're a mogul. Tell everybody where they can find you and track you down, and you have a podcast too. So tell people about that.
I do. Yeah. You can find our podcast, Positive Presence Podcast, on any of the main podcast areas. And you can also find more information about Positive Presence Global, our confidence coaching company, mentor coaching company, at positivepresenceglobal.com or on any social media. And you can Google Michelle Marie King anytime.
There you go. That's the answer. Where can I find you? Just fucking Google me. There you go. I'm out there. As far as us, our aforementioned, as Michelle very graciously pointed out, live Great Love Debate shows. We are back June 6th at Side Splitters Comedy Club in Tampa is the next one. And then go to greatlovedebate.com to check out the rest of our schedule. Shoot us an email, greatlovedebate@gmail.com. If you have a question, if you're a parent, if you're a teen, you want us to pass something along to Ms. Michelle Marie King, we can do that for you. And most importantly, please review this podcast and Positive Presence Podcast. Your reviews mean a lot in the podcasting ecosystem because, as always, at the Great Love Debate, we never stop making love. See you next time.